Okay, so what are we going to have a look at today? First up, we are covering grammar MCQs, some of them. Then we're looking at editing. And then lastly, we're looking at composition. All right, this is a very important segment because this segment takes up 40 marks, right? So it's quite a lot of marks for this composition here. So we're going to look at that today. And here are the house rules, just to remind everyone again. Please leave your camera on at all times, right? It's compulsory to turn on your camera and have yourself muted. If you want to talk, raise your hand and wait for me to call you, and then you can unmute yourself, okay? If you need to go to the toilets, or if you need to be excused for whatever reason, please inform me using the chat group, right? Just say, Mr. Joel, I need to go to the toilet, all right? And then you come back as soon as possible, okay? You don't need to wait for me to say, okay, you can come back, you can go, that kind of thing. You don't, just go. Right? And of course, ultimately, be mindful to be respectful to everyone, okay? So, okay, so Delia didn't write the compo because he had no time. No worries. And Chris has something to ask me about English. No problem. Even though you think you're right, you'll send me the pictures after the class. No problem, Chris. Will do. No problem. Okay, let's begin. All right. So first up, we are tackling grammar MCQ over here. And some of you have replied online already. You've given me your answers online. So I have gotten Chris, Joy, Yu Leong, and Kian's answer for this. So for the students here, I will still need the answers from Delia and Bunxian. Delia and Bunxian. So Delia has given me her answer. And how about Bunxian? What do you think for this one? Yes, so all of you are correct. Good. So the answer is besides. All right, beside. So in this case, maybe she is seated in the train or maybe in the bus or whatever, and there is a briefcase on the seat beside her. All right. The rest of the options doesn't actually make sense. So the briefcase on the seat beside her is the best one. All right. Besides over here is actually keep in mind that the S over here, this is actually not a verb, okay? So the S over here, right, doesn't mean that beside is a verb. Beside is always a preposition. And when I say besides, all right, it means apart from. I don't use it to mean like physically beside. All right, the besides over here means apart from. So you can use it in this way. You can say besides Joy and maybe Delia. Besides Joy, no, actually no, hold on. That's not right. Besides is used in a very casual way of speaking. So you can say something like no. So instead of saying apart from, it sounds like besides is more like moreover. Okay, so maybe you are speaking, right? So besides is used in a very informal way. So you could say something like I can visit you tomorrow. All right, besides means moreover, right? Besides, I need to return your game to you, right? Something like that. So that's how you use besides. Besides is used kind of in a way like it's more of like a moreover in a casual way. So besides is a very casual word. Besides, right? We use it in our dialogues. Okay. Beneath the briefcase on the seat, you definitely not beneath, right? That's definitely wrong as well. Why can't we use beneath? Because it says on. If something is on, can't be beneath, right? Beneath is under. All right. So this needs to be under if we were to make beneath correct. But unfortunately, it's not under. So beneath is wrong. Do you notice the briefcase on the seat across? Okay, so across, if I want to use across here, all right, it might be across from, right? Across from her. But there's no from, right? There's no from over here. So that's why I can't use across. But can I say there's a briefcase on the seat across from her? Yes. It means that the briefcase opposite her, the seat opposite her, there's a briefcase on it. So I can use across from her, but there's no from over here. And that's why your D would be wrong here as well. Okay, moving on. Number 2, Chris, Joy, Kian, and Yuliong got it correct. How about Delia and Bunxian? What do you think the answer for number 2 is? Okay, Delia has answered. How about Bunxian? Very good. Everyone got it right. So it's the author of a novel. And the author of a novel. So the author of this novel, okay, that's a very basic English um, construction there, the author of something. So the answer must be B. I don't think I need to explain the rest because it's quite direct for this one. I might want to explain 2 over here. If you got 2, if you put C over here. So we normally don't say author to something. We normally say perhaps like she's the mother to maybe that young boy. Then you can use to show belonging. All right. The young boy belongs to the mother. And that's the closest one that you might get it wrong for. Apart from that, you shouldn't get this wrong. Number 3. Here, as we cycled the final stretch of lane before the main road, we could hear the birds chirping. For number 3, everyone got it wrong, except for Joy. Only Joy got this one correct. So the rest of you have to give me the answer again. Okay, Bunjin has given me the answer, and yes, the latest one is correct. Chris, the answer is still wrong for this one. In your online reply, you actually put A. So this is still wrong. Yuliong and Kian have to give me their answers as well. The liar, your answer is correct. Good. Chris is correct now. Yep. Yuliong is correct now. That's right. How about Kian? What do you think the correct answer is for this one? Hey? Oh, sorry, Kian is not in this class. Okay. So the correct answer is along. Okay. So the answer is D here. Why is it along? Because it's the final stretch of the lane. Okay, so if you say across, right, it doesn't make sense because it's the final stretch of lane before the main road. Okay, so imagine that this is your lane. So this is the lane. Okay, and then at the end of the lane here, we have the main road. So we have the big road over here. And then the cars might be moving along this way. And then here, the cars might be moving along this way. And over here, all right, a lane could be for cars, it could be for pedestrians. All right, if it's for pedestrians, maybe it's it's just in blocks or something like that. So that's like a lane over here. So when we talk about the final stretch of the lane, all right, we are talking about this area here, right? This is the final stretch, maybe. This is the final part. Right, before the main road. So here you got to demarcate it. This is before the main road, right? This area is before the main road. So as we cycled what? So over here, imagine some people were cycling, right? So as we cycled over here, you are actually cycling. Okay, you're cycling along this area here. All right. So you're cycling along this area. So your direction is still moving this way. You're still going this way. So you're still going along this final stretch of the lane or the main road. So we need to use the word along over here. So it's the only answer that is possible. We can't use across because if we say across, right, what direction would we be going? If we're saying across, we are actually saying we are going this way, you know. That's cycling across the lane, the final stretch of the lane. So if it's the final stretch, right, it'll be here. But are we cycling across the final stretch here? No. They are cycling along before the main road, right? So they're going in the other direction. So therefore A is not correct, which is the answer that quite a lot of you chose just now. All right. So Perez is joining us. That's good. Let me take his attendance very quickly. Perez present. Okay. Now, next up, question 4. Bunchen has given me her answer. Very quick. Question 4. Chris, Joy, and Yuliong got it correct. Good. Bunchen got it correct as well for question 4. That's good. Just waiting for Delia's answer for question 4. Okay, good. Delia is right as well. Okay, so for question 4, the answer is C. All right, 2. This is the shortest route that leads to our home. All right. And it's because of this word leads to. All right. It's not leads in or leads for or leads with. It's leads to. If it says leads in our home, right? It means your home is actually exposed to the outside, the outdoors. And then if you continue walking, right, you can actually walk into your home, which doesn't make sense as well. All right. So it's leading to our home. So the answer here is C, right? Leads to our home. Next, question 5. Question 5, Chris, Joy, and Yulong got it correct as well. Bunchen just got it correct as well. How about Delia? Yes, Delia, you are right too. So, Perez, what is the answer for question 5? Can you make a guess? Send me your answer, please. For question 5, what do you think the best answer here is? There's a pretty white flower growing what? The weeds. Good. All right, you're absolutely right. The answer is growing among. So when you say among, it means it is in between, or there's a lot of them, right? And then here and there are interspersed some white flowers over here. So among would be, okay, let's say you have there are a lot of weeds, right? So maybe weeds are basically grass that are useless, or rather not very useful, and then they'll call it weeds. So you have some weeds here and there, right? Stuff that farmers don't like. You have weeds here, you have weeds here, blah 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 blah. All right, here and there you have weeds. All right. Weeds growing everywhere, basically. Okay, and so among the weeds, all right, there is a pretty white flower, just one, right? A pretty white flower. So take note of the word a. So imagine that the pretty white flower maybe is a bit bluish. I can't use white over here. So there is perhaps a pretty, not very pretty, drawn by me, sorry, but maybe there's like a pretty white flower somewhere.